Before opening any mechanical Pandora's box, I like to have all the replacement parts and tools in front of me ideally. I didn't have that luck, kind of rushed this job, so this video is to make it easier for the next person who's doing their victory clutch job. So to start off, you'll need one specialty tool and the rest should be standard garage tools. Starting off, if you want to go the Barnett route, this one just sticks in place your clutch rack. And then if you want to go the Jim's route, that one will sit in your pressure plate. You got to buy the Harley one first, and then you'll buy the Victory adapter, which is Jim's part number 5804. And then the Harley compressor was 3851590. Personally, I went with the Motion Pro just because it's what I had laying around, and I just got a piece of threaded rod and 2 nuts and bolts. So when opening the primary, you'll at least need the gasket. James makes all of them. I got the one with the cam cover, so that way I'd get the cam cover gasket and then the shift shaft seal just in case. So probably the most important part aside from the judder springs is the steel plates direction. You'll want the sharp side facing upwards. Then with the friction plates, you'll want the smooth rounded edge facing upwards, also known as the rolled edge. And also make sure to set aside the special friction plate 10A. It's got wider tabs along with the larger insert diameter. If not done correctly, you may get clutch drag from the get-go, or the pack may file 5,000 miles or less. I soaked mine for a day, but Barnett recommends 1 to 3 minutes. Please keep in mind, whichever oil you do choose to run, you should continue to run it after that, whether that be fully synthetic 20W40 or the OEM semi-synthetic, because it gets permanently soaked in the clutch fibers until the next service, and under excessive load may slip if you're mixing between the two. But I would see what the new clutch recommends for your application. I see this almost every day with Harley owners. They forget to check and see what their new clutch requires or recommends, whether that's mineral or synthetic primary oil, and the same thing occurs. It just slips right off the bat. To drain the oil, it'd be a 6mm Allen socket, and then when you retorque it, it's gonna be a 15 foot-pound final torque spec. And a new drain plug washer would be OEM number 5812232. You can reuse about everything if you need to, but the only thing you can't reuse is the clutch nut and then the lock washer behind it. It claims you can reuse the judder springs, but I bought new ones for peace of mind. First, to install the judder springs into the thinner judder friction plate B, put the judder spring seat inside the clutch hub, and then the judder spring on top, white dot facing out towards you, and the outside of the clutch shell. Then the friction plate B outside, and then the sharp side of the steel facing outwards also, and then start stacking. You need the judder spring dished out towards you. The judder spring must be installed concave side facing up towards the outside of the basket, and the tallest edge of the spring is outermost. Insert your new judder springs, white dot out. Probably the easiest way to remember it. Make the skinny one right here. And then you got your new fiber, and then this new steel. You feel sharp and dull side, round it. There, it's coming into focus. You'll feel it with your fingertips. All the seat, judder spring, white dot out. Then this one, and then your friction, sharp side, facing outside of the clutch hub. Feel it kind of catch there. And then your standard frictions. And then you just keep stacking these out, sharp side out. Of course, you want to do this pre-stacked and then just have it all in clutch oil. From there, just visually inspect and check what's worn, pivot pins for rules, bushings, lube all your cables, clutch, throttle, idle, choke, and make sure your shifter assembly is smooth and the splines aren't damaged. And I highly recommend a new clutch cable because your cable is most likely to be stretched out from all the adjusting before. Didn't want to be in the primary again, especially with parts availability dwindling to near nothing, so this is everything else I ordered just to replace while I was in there, also just in case I flew a snap ring across the garage, which is very likely given the nature of the beast. If your clutch was slipping before, I would highly recommend a new pressure plate and spring. Most likely they'll be worn or weak. I used this Barnett kit. This is the best for performance, or if you beat on your application pretty hard, it will give you an extremely hard clutch pull, but the performance and zero slippage is worth it in my personal opinion. If you like the stock pull and the plate, you can reorder OEM numbers. 513207 for the pressure plate, 7041944 for the spring. Just keep in mind this is a quick run through of all the parts and tools that may be required in order to perform all service procedures. Get a year specific service manual, and remember, once you touch it and open it, you are responsible for your quality of work. I will include a copy of my service manual, which is a steel frame 05 to 07, but the service procedures on the clutch should be generally the same for all Victory models 2001 to 2017. If you're having charging issues, this is probably the most convenient time to get at any electrical gremlin. See if your regulator is regulating or if your stator has an open ground. You can first test this by changing your multimeter to ohms, place the positive terminal on the retainer clip, the other on a good ground. You should get no connection from the stator winding to ground, and you should replace the stator if there's an electrical connection between the two. I recommend Rick's Motorsport stators for the quality and customer service. And be extremely careful not to get your fingers pinched in the primary cover, because it will surely try to when it magnetizes. Keep all hands, fingers, and extremities clear. The solution was to get some threaded rod screws, cut the ends off to help me guide the new primary gasket, and then the primary on without losing my fingers. Next, testing your regulator is going to be a pretty straightforward and easy job. You'll just need to take off your seat and have one person on the multimeter while the other person is revving the bike. When at 1,000 RPM, you should be rising towards 14 volts. Then when you increase to 2,500 RPM, voltmeter should be rising to 14.8 volts on an optimal charging system. If you're consistently getting readings of over 15, it's overcharging, and below 13, it would be undercharging, and your regulator is most likely bad. Your regulator will go bad 9 times out of 10 before your stator, but the best maintenance is preventative, and if you don't make time to service your motorcycle will take time when you need to service it later. If you need to install a new regulator, it would be 10 Newton meters or 85 inch-pounds if you remove it. Same with the regulator rectifier bracket. If you service anything electrical, be sure to disconnect your battery. And when you reattach your battery hardware, be sure to retorque those at 4.5 Newton meters or 40 inch-pounds. And use blue Loctite to help fight vibration. And if you found anything in this video helpful, just give me a like, and if you want more stuff, just subscribe. Thank you.